to Amery Junction. Today we're going to be taking a look at a very cool product. We're going to be looking at the train tracker live tracking boards that they do for a few networks, including the London Underground and the MTA New York subway system. So on the left, in front of you, this is the London Underground one, which is currently lighting away, and on the right is the New York City subway one. I'll explain the differences in some of these boards. These are absolutely stunning. It's not a paid promotion, let me just put that. I'm just a very happy customer, and I thought it would be worth showing them, as they're quite new on the market and they're extremely clever bits of kit, and even if you're not a RAW enthusiast, they could still interest you. So stay tuned and we'll take a closer look. Right, so in this video I'm going to have to keep the lighting low so you can really appreciate the lights on the board. So this is the London Underground train tracker board. They work off of Wi-Fi. They connect to a central train tracker server which feeds the information live real time from say for this one TfL, and then for that one MTA, which was the transit authorities that operate it. So with the London Underground, it tracks the trains on 12 major lines, and they've each got a different colour LED, which is correct per line. So say for a yellow, obviously the Circle line, purple, Metropolitan, green, District, red, Central, and so on. So they're all, as you can see, and it's got the whole London Underground map with 12 major lines on there, which is currently tracking. With this one, it tracks trains arriving at stations, so it will do both ways. So if there's an eastbound and westbound, it will obviously, there's only one light for that station, so it will light it up. So basically every time a train arrives into a station, if it's westbound or eastbound or vice versa, the light will illuminate to show that a train's arrived at that station. So this one is tracked per trains arriving at the stations, compared to this one which tracks the locations of the trains, which is a bit more precise. They couldn't do that with the London Underground one because obviously there's a lot more trains that operate per line on the Underground in London than New York. And it's a bit more of a complex system we have here in the UK. It was a little bit harder for them to do on the size boards that they have. Whereas obviously the New York one, that's each colour light represents a train, which doesn't necessarily mean at a station, it's just a location. And in daylight, if we turn the lights on, it does have a rough, it's kind of laser etched into the kind of board, a map of New York City, and that's the same for the London Underground one, which is a really nice touch. So all these they're quite simplistic but also complicated, I'll describe. They're just a green PCB board with loads of LEDs over, which are in like the London Underground shaped map. It's absolutely stunning bit of kit, and as you can see, it's quite quirky. It's got all different electrical components. I don't know what they are, as I'm not techie in that way at all, but it just really adds to it, and they look quite retro and quite nice to display all that. It's not hidden, it's all literally, you get and see what you get, and it just really shows the complexity of the item. And then obviously it's the same with the New York one. It's got a few of the bits up there. And then all the boards come with these white lights, which are on all the time, which say if it's receiving Wi-Fi data, if it has power. And the bottom light, there is actually 4 lights on each board, is a fault. So obviously you don't really want the bottom one on. And that's the same for this one over here on the London Underground one. So with these, they're powered, they come all done as a kit, ready to go. You literally just set it up via the easy instructions via their website. You literally just plug it in. The London Underground one comes with a 12 volt plug with the adapter lead, and the New York one runs off a USB, which is nice because it's the smaller ones. I believe all the smaller ones run off a USB plug, but don't quote me on that. They're absolutely superb bits of kit, and as you can see, they're a really cool amendment to a room. I've got mine on top of my wardrobe in my bedroom, and I am extremely impressed with these. They're an extremely cool bit of kit, and a very cool item to have. So this is their website. It's a really simple but effective website. I do like how they're kind of video pictures, which show the products working, which is really quite nice. I'm not sure if you can just make that out. They are moving away. So there's 2 London Underground ones. There's one like that with white lights, and then the one I've got with multicoloured lights. And then just to give you a bit of an idea of some of the other stuff they've got a rain tracker for the UK, New York City subway, which I've got, and then some Boston ones, as well as a US rain tracker. They're adding products all the time, which is really good, so hopefully they'll do a Crossrail one in the future, which will be really quite cool. So anyway, that's the products they use, and if there's any that you find interesting, remember to use the code, which will be in the description down below, and it'll give you a little discount for your first train tracker board. So the product comes with full information on what you need to do and how to set it up. It's quite simple. You just search their train tracker website. Just make sure you spell it correctly the way they spell it. And I'm logged in. Then you just go to dashboard, and it has my 2 boards, as you can see there. So obviously we've got the London Underground one and the New York City one. So if we just go for the London Underground one, for example, and go into it, you can control your brightness up there, and then you just adjust the settings to whatever you want with the slider down below. I have mine on the minimal settings because where they are up in my room, I just don't want at night them literally illuminating the whole house. So yeah, it's got the Wi-Fi signal strength, which is handy to know, so you can monitor if it's doing what it's meant to be doing, as well as the server stamps from the online server, because obviously these work through Wi-Fi and they connect to a central server. Obviously London Underground and MTA do obviously post all this information available online when trains arrive, and that's basically how it works in the most simplistic term. But obviously, it's a bit more complicated than that. Something that I think train enthusiasts and railway enthusiasts, and even people that aren't, will really like. So if you do want to get yourself one, the company that makes them are called Train Trackr, and that is spelled train as in the normal way, and tracker Trackr. And they've got a website, and you can go and check them out. I'll leave a link in the description down below. And that will give you a little discount on your first board, which they offer to all their customers for someone that's bought a board. I've got 2 at the moment, and I hopefully will get some more in the future when they design some others maybe. I would really like an Elizabeth line, like a Crossrail one, the new London Underground railway going through London, which isn't open yet, but I must say I really must hope they do a board for that, and maybe some others, UK ones in the future. So yeah, really cool bit of kit, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Slightly a little bit different, and as always, I'll see you again in one of my next videos.